At a farm in Goromonzi on the outskirts of Harare, workers are out harvesting potatoes. The 60-acre farm mainly produces potatoes, maize and vegetables supplied to parts of the country. Letitia Tapfumani, who runs the farm, is a trained crop scientist. She acquired her farm in 2004 through a controversial government land program launched in 2000 to seize farms owned by whites to resettle landless blacks. She is happy with the harvest made so far and is glad she ventured into farming.
This year, for the first time, I've managed to do 35 hectares of maize and 3 hectares of potatoes. And I'm expecting at least an average of 8 tons of maize. And from potatoes, nothing less than 30 tons per hectare. And that is well above $50,000.
Eric Bloke, an independent economic analyst in Bulawayo, says most farmers in Zimbabwe are unable to bear the rising costs associated with farming. Once a regional breadbasket, Zimbabwe has struggled to feed itself since the land reform started, leading to sharp falls in agricultural production. But there are plans by the government to increase support for subsistence farmers.
The first and biggest constraint is that the majority of the new farmers have no financial resources. They don't have the capital with which to do the development on the farms that's necessary to fund the operations until the crops can be converted into money. And even where there are limited resources available from the financial sector, most of those new farmers can't access those resources because they don't have any collateral security.
The agriculture sector has shown signs of recovery under a unity government set up 2 years ago by Mugabe and his rival Prime Minister Morgan Tsvangirai following disputed elections in 2008. But altered weather patterns in the region caused by climate change have also affected the sector, creating uncertainty about the best time to plant crops. Despite the challenges, analysts say things can improve if the government reviews current guidelines in the sector.
It was the breadbasket of the region, and it could be again. Essentially, it needs a total revision of governmental policies. Those policies should be driven by what is the national economic and agricultural need, and not by the political perceptions, what is going to garner votes or nice big contributions to the party or preserve the loyalty of various party cohorts and the like. It's got to be driven by the real.
In October, state media reported that Zimbabwe had secured a $300 million loan from Brazil to finance agriculture and boost crop production to counter successive years of food deficits. The funds will be used to support farmers who have largely failed to get loans from local banks that are still recovering from a prolonged economic crisis. The sector is expected to grow 33% in 2011, according to government projections. Production of the staple maize grain has risen from 400,000 metric tons in 2008 to 1.45 million tons this year, but is still below a national requirement of 2 million tons.